Breakfast with Spaniels with Dr. Judy Morgan.
Good morning. Oh, some of you joined us last night too. Well, we got less than 12 hours apart between lives. Last night was fun. We'll talk about that a little bit this morning.
Remember, you can purchase all of Dr. Morgan's products at her website at www.drjudymorgan.com. Now it's time to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
All right. I'm going to use headphones this morning because I have two dogs, a cat and a bird, all in the same room with me this morning. So you never know when someone's going to start barking, squawking, or general mischief in this house. So last night, for those of you that joined us, literally 12 hours ago, we did a live Q&A with the spa, Carrie Hyde from the spa, and my mom did a really nice interview talking about her story and being an integrated veterinarian on their Spodcast podcast. So we posted the YouTube link, I think yesterday or the day before. I think it's also going to be, she's going to put it in the Friday 5 this morning as well. So you can go back and watch that interview, but we did a follow-up live Q&A, and Carrie sent me an email. I was like, I really want you to join. You answer a bunch of questions for people in our Facebook group, and so I want people to be able to see your face. And I was like, sure, why not? So we had a really fun time last night. Carrie, my mom, and myself, we answered some questions. We took a deep dive into some kind of heavier topics in veterinary medicine, and it was really great. So for those of you that joined us, you are troopers. You're literally, I'm still exhausted. That was past my bedtime. We're doing lives 12 hours apart. This is craziness. But so you are not seeing Dr. G this morning because she had to take Nanny to a doctor's appointment this morning. So again, flying by the seat of my pants, I got a text like, hey, can you hop on Facebook Live? So here I am. So today I wanted to talk about something. It's actually a really great opportunity for me to be live because there's something that I've been struggling with in my household with my animals that I wanted to talk more about. So as we've mentioned, I'm currently pet sitting, obviously, the bird, Marvin, and my dad's cat. And in my house already, I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. A pretty large dog, Mila, she's probably 85 pounds at this point. She's a little chunky right now. And Panda, who is our smaller dog. And so we have obviously gone through a lot of stressful transitions in our household. We had a baby. Babies are huge stressors on our animals. We have new animals coming in. There's not enough space. There's Edward. Good morning, Edward. There's not enough space in my house really for this number of animals because this is not a permanent thing. I'm pet sitting temporarily. And so I have seen quite a few signs of stress in my animals. And I wanted to talk today about what those signs are and some of the things that we've done to really try to ease the stress in our pets. And I also want to hear from all of you as well. If you do notice stress in your pet, kind of what that manifests as and what some of the signs are. And I also want to know what you guys are doing to relieve stress in your pets, because maybe we can share some ideas back and forth and we can learn something new today. So just to start off, I'm going to talk mostly in the context of my pets because we aren't behaviorists. And so if you work with a behaviorist, they'll take a much deeper dive into animal behavior than we're going to do today. But in the context of kind of what I've been going through with my animals, they each have manifested their stress in different ways, which is very common. So, for example, Mila, who is our pit bull mix, she has a more docile personality. So when she gets stressed, she, generally speaking, will hide. Or, she really likes to become a Velcro dog and cling on to me. I'm like her security blanket. So she likes to either be nestled in a safe, quiet space away from all the action and stress, or she likes to be really close with me. Some other dogs will be the opposite and they will get more aggressive and outwardly combative. And that is kind of similar to our dog Panda. When she feels stressed, she will lash out. So whether that's growling, barking, snapping, stealing toys and treats from the other animals, Panda is much more of a confrontational animal when she gets stressed. Our cats, on the other hand, typically don't show their signs of stress as much as dogs. Cats are really great at hiding pain, stress, fear, anxiety in different ways than dogs. So dogs, whether they're hiding and shaking or they're being more aggressive and outward with their stress, typically it's a little bit clearer to tell when a dog is stressed than a cat. So some really severe signs of cat stress would be something like hair pulling, over grooming. Those are really classic signs. Under grooming can be a sign of stress as well. They can become aggressive towards either people or other animals. I've seen that in my household as well. Their litter box habits as well can be really, really correlated with stress. So cats, something that people don't talk about often, is there's something called stress-induced cystitis with cats, and it has very similar symptoms to a urinary tract infection. Typically, they're urinating outside the litter box. They may even be vocalizing while they're urinating. It becomes very painful to urinate for them. And antibiotics aren't going to treat that. It literally is a stress-induced issue for cats. So the stress not only can affect their behavior, but physically it can affect them, which I'm going to talk a little bit about in a minute. Also, our cats, we notice vocalization. If you hear that typical like yowl sound, some cats will do that when they're really stressed out. We've heard that here too. Edward is wherever he went. He is our youngest. He is only 4 years old. He's very rambunctious and pesky and social. So he actually, his stress was coming out as kind of overly, he wasn't being aggressive, but I guess an overbearing amount of physical contact. I'll say it that way. He just wouldn't stop just touching and tackling and just like poking the other cats. Like he just would not leave them alone, and I think it really, he's reaching out for, security and companionship, but the other cats hate it. They just were like, just stop touching me. My poor Edward. And then also for the dogs, excessive panting, Mila especially in the car. Sometimes she can be fearful. Like if you honk the horn or something, she gets very scared of the loud noises, and she will start excessively panting. And it actually is not correlated to her temperature; it's correlated to her stress levels. So that's another thing that you can look out for dogs, pretty specifically. For the bird, our poor bird, yeah, he was stressed too. For him, he gets pretty bitey when he's stressed. However, birds can also typically pull their feathers out when they're feeling stressed as well. So it can be kind of these slight, more minor displays of stress, all the way up to, they're ripping feathers out, they're trying to bite you, they're becoming aggressive. It can really escalate behavior-wise. So one thing I wanted to actually discuss, I stumbled upon this morning when I was looking at this, is there was in 2013, there's actually a study with cats at the Ohio State University Medical Center, and they took, looks like 20 cats, and they monitored them under stressful conditions. So they basically started out with the cats kind of in optimal conditions. They were in individual cage. They had a daily routine, playtime, socialization, food, treats. They had a consistent caretaker. They basically tried to expose the cats to unpredictable stressors, such as unfamiliar caretakers, an inconsistent schedule, no playtime, no socialization, no treats. They still fed them, of course. And they monitored for what they classify as sickness behaviors. So these included vomiting, diarrhea, anorexia, decreased food and water intake, fever, lethargy, enhanced pain-like behaviors, decreased general activity, over grooming or under grooming, as well as social interactions. So basically, they monitored these cats before and after exposing them to these stressors. And long story short, they did see in the short term, there was a significant increase in these sickness behaviors in the cats, both the healthy cats and the control group of cats that were exposed to these stressors. So it's really important that we are concerned about stress in our animals because it can lead to these very physical manifestations of the stress. Not to mention, long term, it can really wreak havoc on their body. Can too much sleeping be a sign for dogs? Yeah, so either lethargy or overactivity can both be signs of stress. I know for cats especially, the stigma that cats sleep all the time is partially true, but sometimes they are that lethargic for other reasons. Like I know my cat Reggie, before he got his dental procedure, he was in a lot of pain because he had some teeth that were really desperately needing to come out, and he was basically sleeping 23 hours a day. However, after his dental procedure, I've been increasing the quality of his diet and supplements, and he is much more active. It's night and day, you know, and I the biggest change was the dental procedure and then some food and supplement changes. So of course, yeah, lethargy, hiding, or like I said, Mila becomes my Velcro dog. She just she gives me this really sad face and she's like, Mom, please, just hold me. There she is. Yeah, okay. She's gone now. All right, so now moving into what can we do if our pets are stressed? So the number one thing actually is we all, as the pet parents, need to monitor our own stress levels. So it's very well known that our animals are very connected to us. And so when we are stressed out, they feed off that stress. And they're very sensitive. And sometimes they don't know what we're stressed out about. You know, they don't know, oh, I read a Facebook post that got me really angry this morning. They don't know what it is. They just know, my mom or dad is really stressed out. I think I should be stressed out too. So the number one thing when I talk to people about this is you really actually have to check in with yourself and be mindful and say, you know, am I contributing to my animals' stress levels? They're very sensitive. Sometimes we need to take a deep breath before we interact with our animals and make sure that we are in a better place before we are kind of passing off the stress onto our animals. So some things that I started doing that I found really helpful is each of our animals, even though my house is way too small for all these animals, we carved out a safe space for each one. So obviously the bird, he's now taken over our office. This is now the bird room, so that way he can come out and play and socialize and interact in a safe space. And at night, we don't have to worry about the cats, you know, sticking their paws in the cage and stressing him out. Each of the cats specifically have their own safe space options. With cats, they really like to be up above the rest of the animals and the furniture. So, you know, cat trees are great, but any type of vertical space for our cats, they really like to be up high. And they like to be in a more enclosed safe space typically. So that way, you know, if you think about it, if they were concerned about predators and they're in a little hidey hole, they're going to feel a lot safer and they're up above so they can kind of see whatever's coming. So something that we commonly see with cats is that people just kind of treat them like dogs and assume that, you know, oh, I put a bed on the floor. That's okay, but cats really like to be elevated. So anyway, you can give your cat some vertical space, their own little hidey hole, especially if you can make it kind of enclosed. Like we have one of those little cat teepees that we put on top of our cat tree. So it's actually, not only is it vertical above everything else, but it also is a nice little cozy hidey hole. So that way they feel really, really safe and secure in there. The other thing that you can do for your dogs is some people like crate training. I don't crate train my dogs just because she's really big and my house is small. But they each have their own little safe space with beds in each room. So if they feel scared, they know that they can go to their bed. And we keep it in our bedroom, which is really quiet. So if there's a lot of people over or stressed, they can go to their own safe space. So having a safe space for your animals, in my opinion, I think is really, really helpful if they're feeling stressed and they kind of need to cope on their own for a minute or two, or you're not there. Having a safe space is really important. Obviously, a good diet, always important, but when your pets are going through stressful periods, like I said, it can manifest into these physical issues. So we don't want to increase the probability of having physical issues with a poor diet and adding more inflammation into their body. Exercise, it's great for us, it's great for them, whether you can take your dogs for a walk. Cats, if you can get a little toy. I started carving out time each day, especially with the cats under stress, to play with them and give them some physical exercise. There's always toys and chews to kind of keep them occupied and keep their mind off of things. We have a huge selection on the website. We also have some puzzle toys, which are great for keeping your dog's mind. Well, there's actually puzzle toys for cats too, but just keeping them mentally stimulated. Outside time. So for us, I live on a full acre, so we're really lucky here, and we have a really nice fenced-in backyard. So my dogs love to be outside with us. We've got a porch with fans. If it's too hot, they have plenty of shade. So we love, love, love to spend outside time. It's great for my mental health. The dogs love it. I started taking Edward, the cat, in the backyard, very well supervised, because I have indoor cats. They are not indoor outdoor cats. They're indoor only cats. And because we have this really nice fenced in backyard and porch and stuff under supervision, I feel very safe that, I would be able to intervene before he would make a grand escape. Reggie, on the other hand, who is my older cat, I tried to do the same thing for him when he started feeling a little bit better after his dental. And he just his eyes lit up and he just took off. And I was like, okay, you have to go on a leash. I can't trust you to just stay on the porch and close by. But outside time in general, for those of you that live in cities, that might be a little bit trickier. But, if you could go to a park or something that's a little bit more calm, outside time, it's great for our mental health. It's great for our pets. Routine in general. Pets do really like routine. It doesn't have to be super rigid, but just knowing what comes next. So a lot of pets really do like that. They don't like to be guessing, when am I going to get fed, or what are we doing today? So, if you get up and you generally speaking go for a walk with your dog real quick and feed him some breakfast, whatever, just having a few pieces throughout your day that is part of a routine. Animals seem to really actually work pretty well in routines. Of course, there are products that can help with stress in pets. We really like a lot of lavender products for calming, that whether that's an essential oil or so in the CBD Dog Health Calm, they have some lavender in there. We have some lavender sprays that just generally help with calming nature. So some things that I'll actually pull up what I started giving to our pets. So everyone, when we knew this transition was coming where everyone's going to be stressed out because we have a bird and a cat, everyone in our house gets CBD. So right now we're using the New Leaf CBD. And again, you can use the discount code Judy10 at naturallyhealthyhemp.com. If someone wants to post the link for me, that would be great. And so CBD is really great because it kind of helps calm the fight or flight response. So for our pets, they're at a really increased kind of agitated state. So we just went ahead and gave everyone CBD just to set us up for success. It also has a lot of other benefits, like for our cat being arthritic, it's really great for that. The dogs need some joint support as well. Panda's going through her very inflammatory period with these allergies. So she really has been benefiting from the CBD as well. But specifically talking about stress, fear, anxiety, CBD has been really wonderful for us. Another thing that I started, I actually talked to some people about this a little while ago, but we have these flower essences. So let me try to show. It's kind of hard to see, sorry. But they're called botanical animal flower essences, and they have probably like 10 or 12 of them, and they're for specific situations. So, what I'm using right now is Mellow Out. It's for anxiety, agitation, and nervousness. I just put it in their water. You can also put it direct in their mouth, but we put it in. We have a few big water bowls for all the animals, so I just put it in all of them. And I'm also combining it with sibling rivalry because the dogs, when they're under stress, sometimes they will actually be aggressive towards each other. Like they don't full on fight, but they'll growl at each other or, not want to be in close proximity of each other. So I added the sibling rivalry as well for our pets. But they have a few different options and really easy. Just put it in their water. And then for the cats, because we have had instances of stress-induced cystitis, plus the other cat has a UTI. I put them on Cosequin, which is actually, it's a joint supplement, but it's actually fantastic for bladder health for cats. So all of my cats are getting this right now because the probability of some type of urinary issue in our household is high, and they all need some joint support for arthritis anyway. I like to, during times of stress, I really like to support the gut, like we had talked about 5 minutes ago, however long ago it was. A lot of these stressful situations can result in GI upset. That could be like vomiting, diarrhea, anorexia. Those can all be signs of stress as well. So I, right now, preemptively, I put all my pets on the Healthy Gut by Adored Beast. And the reason I chose this, it has the digestive enzymes in it, plus the probiotics. The reason I chose this for all of my pets was because my dad's cat was having some like constipation, inconsistent stool issues. So I thought this would be really helpful for her, and it's been very easy to get into the cats. My dogs will eat pretty much anything. So I'm just using this for the whole household right now. And one other thing that I added from Adored Beast is the liver tonic. And so this isn't something that I say if your pet is under stress, like you should give them liver tonic. But for me, I felt like it's a really good, just supportive supplement for their liver, gallbladder, all of that jazz while they're underneath these stressful conditions. Again, because it can manifest into more physical symptoms. And then, of course, if you're into essential oils, we recommend Animalio by Dr. Melissa Shelton. You can diffuse essential oils. She has topicals that you can put on yourself or put on the animals or put on, in their crate. And so there's a lot of really great options as far as essential oils too. We don't diffuse, I don't think we've diffused anything for stress specifically, but we diffused some of her open air for the baby when she's going through her respiratory stuff. So, I wanted to that's pretty much it. I just wanted to go through and see if anyone else had any other really good suggestions. Is Animalio safe for birds? So you have to read the description on her website, but generally speaking, yes, she makes the essential oils that are safe for humans, cats, dogs, birds, horses, small rodents. So that's why we recommend Animalio, because it's really, really safe. Afraid of fireworks. Yeah, so fireworks is a really, really big stressful experience. We have a whole blog on stress when it comes to fireworks. So yeah, I don't think anyone, I'm just going to post the link to Naturally Healthy Hemp real quick, because I don't think anyone did that for me this morning. And that's for CBD. Like I said, CBD Dog Health does has a calm CBD oil, which is not just CBD, but it also has lavender, and it has one other ingredient in it that I am forgetting off the top of my head. So that's a great option specifically if you have a really stressed out pet, but any of the CBD options are going to help in this genre of stress, fear, anxiety. Would CBD help with over grooming? I don't know if you're referring to a cat or a dog. It would sort of depend on the source. I can't say that CBD would for sure help. If it's related to some type of distress, it could potentially help. But in most of those cases of like the over grooming, okay. There's an Edward. In most of those cases of over grooming, you really have to figure out what the cause is. Because if you don't address the root cause of either the stress or if it's a medical issue, CBD might help a little bit, but it's not going to cure the problem. Okay. So yeah, just leaving you all today. You can see at the zoo in the background. It's like craziness here. But really, I just wanted today to be a reminder for all of us, me included, that I know a lot of us are under a huge amount of stress right now, whether you're scrolling on social media or you're listening to the news or whatever, and our pets can feel that. And so I really just want this to be a reminder of all of us to just be mindful to, take a second out of your day, take a deep breath, maybe go outside if you can, and just spend that one-on-one time with your animal and just really connect with them and try to let the other stressors that are going on in your life right now go for just that short amount of time, because they really do feel what we're feeling, and they don't know why we're stressed out. They just know that we are. So I just want today, especially it's Friday, we have the weekend. If anyone, has an opportunity, just really spend some quality time with your pet, being mindful that, we're all stressed and we just need to take a second to decompress. All right, let me see if I can find us some music while Edward's hanging out. Yes, so Edward, for those of you that don't know Edward's story, he was rescued off of Craigslist when he was just 5 weeks old, which is way too young to be separated from your mommy. He was just found. Some lady found him and was a good Samaritan, and she wanted to find him a good home. So now I have my baby. Edward. Okay. No. I hope all of you wanted to see a cat butt this morning. I'm probably going to get a message that people are like, you should not let cats climb on you. Yes, there's Mila in her natural habitat. Mila. Hey, BB. Alright, I hope you all have a lovely, stress-free Friday.